One cloudy day, Lupita was going to have an exam in the class she least understood, linguistics. As was usual, the teacher began to distribute the exams. When Lupita received her exam, she started reading the questions, but she didn't understand anything.
Pragmatics? Semantics? What is all that?
Lupita, seeing that she did not understand anything, began to yawn. Her eyes began to feel heavy until in the end she fell asleep. In her deepest dreams, she heard a voice calling her from afar.
Lupita, Lupita.
Lupita followed the voice when suddenly a mysterious woman appears.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me? I'm Ferdinanda de Saussure, a very important linguist.
Oh no, I tried to escape from linguistics and it appears in my dreams too.
That is because you don't know the importance of linguistics in our life. Linguistics is the study that demonstrates the importance of language in our lives. Since through it we communicate, transmit our ideas and our thoughts. Through linguistics we can convey all of this correctly. But we have a problem, because since the days have passed, this science has been set aside, because the technology has made that people care less about this important science, because the advance had made us depend on this and not on our knowledge. So I'm here only for helping you.
Oh, thanks. How can you help me?
I have noticed that in your time you have used an strange kind of pictures, and these usually are funny. But the thing you don't know is this can be used for learning.
Really, can I learn through memes?
Of course. In fact, I have brought for you an apprentice from my school who can help you to understand better. Maybe, do you remember any question from your exam?
Yes, I remember some words like pragmatics. Semantics, arbitrary linguistic competence, and linguistic knowledge.
Perfect. So let's start with the pragmatics. Well, pragmatics is the study of the meaning depending on the context.
For example, in this mean, the pragmatics can be seen reflected, since in the image, a Colombian daily life is expressed with the meaning is derived only in a certain context, which can mean, don't wish me that evil, and not literally choose his eyes. In this case, it is more a reference to a saying than to a semantic concept.
But what is semantics?
Semantics is the study of the general meaning of something.
In this mean, we can see a semantics printed, because the foreigner only understands the general meaning of the words good and bad, but he doesn't associate it with the meaning, because this sentence depends on the context in which it is found. So, he doesn't have the linguistic performance for understanding these kinds of sentences. In this case, we have the definitions of these two words. Good, abstract entity that contains in itself perfection and is formed by everything considered morally good. And the word bad, the opposite of good, that which departs from what is lawful and honest.
An arbitrary? Why is a language arbitrary?
Because the words don't have any relation to the meaning of the same.
For example, in this case, we had two situations where the meaning of the words do not match with the pragmatic meaning, unlegend and arbitrariness which generate confusion between the foreign reserved person and the message that it wants to transmit, since there is no relationship between the literal meaning of the words.
For finally, I'm going to give you a little explanation about linguistic competence and linguistic knowledge. So, linguistic knowledge is the knowledge that we have about a language, and linguistic competence is the ability to use that knowledge to transmit and interpret ideas.
In this mean, we can interpret that there is a confusion because the Spanish speaker has a linguistic competence because it's capable of learning a new language, but doesn't have the sufficient linguistic knowledge for keeping a fluent conversation with a foreign person. For that reason, there is a confusion because this person doesn't feel completely sure talking to a foreigner and only answer with an easy sentence within the language.
Lupita was entertained with the explanation of Ferdinanda de Saussure, but suddenly she heard a voice in the distance that was calling her. Lupita? Lupita? She was her teacher who was calling her to pick up her exam because the time was over. Lupita leaves the classroom dejected because she did not answer the exam. That is to say, she will have a bad grade. But she hopes that she will have a good grade in the next exam because now she understands and knows more about some branches of linguistics and some concepts about that. In conclusion, through these elements, it's possible to explain and understand the thematic in a more enjoyable and fun way. No need to make the class tedious and monotonous because the utilization of visual tools can avoid the traditionalism, making the classes more attractive and adapted for students of the new era, because they will learn in a dynamic and innovative way. Also, the teachers of the future will have an efficient tool for teaching. For this reason, we invite you to use interesting and innovative tools. For example, this video.